Yo, what's going on guys? Crayon here. So, in this video I'm just going to be showing you guys how I got to 2500 Mr. P in duels, setting a new world record for that brawler. So, hopping into the first game here, I actually did this like about a week ago, but I've been out of town, so couldn't really edit the video, but yeah, unfortunately I did have to drop the Snows Hill trio because honestly I just wasn't that consistent with it. Like, anytime my opponent had kit, I would really struggle, or just against good players overall. Like, pretty much every time I faced a good player, it was an instant loss. So, yeah, I had to choose more meta picks going into the last two duels days, because especially since duels only came every 3 days instead of every day, I really had to get my consistency up. But yeah, on that note, I am playing Frank, as you can see. If you are going to actually master like one brawler to carry you in duels, I would highly recommend Frank. It's very easy, and if you get a few core matchups down with Frank, then you can pretty much just dominate in duels. And it's actually really good because I like how Frank, you can beat players that are much better than you in terms of raw skill just using Frank. Because it's just, I mean, that's just it doesn't really take that much skill, but if you know just a few basic things about it, then you really can. It does make a big difference whether you know what you're doing with Frank or not. Like there, I'd see a lot of people playing the pull gadget, which is definitely not the right move. In duels, you always want to use the headphones gadget. It completely turns around matchups, such as Tara, for example. Frank with the headphones gadget is the only true hard counter to Tara, which is the main reason why I use it. And then the headphones gadget also allows you to sometimes beat Shelly and Daryl. And I say sometimes because if they do get directly onto you, then it's pretty much impossible. Although, I'd say with Daryl, if you have your hypercharge and the headphones gadget, you can usually beat them. But yeah, on these maps, obviously, there's that wall there, which I can just hide behind, and now I can just chase him into the smoke with my brute HP. And yeah, that is the first win. I believe that was the game for, yeah, 50 win streak. That's pretty nice. So yeah, hopping into this next one. I was going up against Triple Tank here, but Mr. P is actually incredibly good at scouting the grass, as you'll see in this match. I used to really not like this map because it wasn't very good for, say, Byron, which was my main duels brawler at the time, but I've learned to appreciate, once I've been playing Mr. P, I've learned to appreciate how catching people off guard with the vision gear and kind of using, because the fact that you know where they are, it's not just that you know where they are, it's that they don't know that you know. So they'll act like, a very common move is for people to stand in one spot when they're in a bush to try and fake you out because you just assume that they're moving. But if they knew that you could see them, then they wouldn't do that, but they don't know that you can see them. So they're acting as if you can't see them. And that's what I think is so strong about it. But yeah, obviously using the vision gear on this bull here. And this was actually a really clutch play by the Porter. Yep, you saw that Porter kill right there. MVP of the game. And then, yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. There's absolutely no way I lose to this as Gale. Although, as you'll see in a minute, the headphones gadget on Frank can allow you to win some pretty unexpected matchups, which is obviously why I use it. But yeah, I would say if you are facing Mr. P, which it's unlikely because Mr. P is not that good in duels, in all honesty, if you do face Mr. P, my advice is to don't try and juke him out too much. Just juke enough to waste some ammo, and then once you've wasted some ammo, just fully commit. Run in a straight line. Don't back off, because if you back off, then the Mr. P can stop you from healing, and then you stop pressuring, and then you're not healing, and then you just lose. Whereas if you just run in a straight line, you'll eventually get to the edge of the map, and you'll be able to kill him. But yeah, that was my game for the #1 spot in the all-time category. So this is my game to 2500, which is when I stopped. And this map is pretty interesting. I actually don't say I know the meta very well on this map. I think Frank is probably not the best pick on this, but I'm just comfortable with it, so I've been using it. I did actually lose to Firebolt on this map. He was playing Pam, which literally swept me, which was pretty funny. But yeah, I might end up trying that out sometime. But for now, I'm using Buzz Lightyear with the, what's that thing called? Yeah, the laser mode Lightyear. It's pretty good. I mean, the fact that, like, you have a sniper attack that also does crow poison, I don't know, it's just fundamentally broken. And everyone's using it, so I was like, well, if everyone's using it, then at least it's a neutral matchup, and you just pray that you're better at aiming and dodging than they are. But yeah, again, people, especially, sometimes people don't plan for Frank on these open maps, so you can take advantage of it. Like, I swept a ton of people with Frank on this map, and Mr. P is sneakily not that bad, especially given that there's that one barrel in the middle there. It's pretty decent at just chipping people down, and also revealing where they are with the gadget, because people try and get sneaky in these bushes, even though the bushes are quite small. So, in this situation, pretty much my only goal was to make sure that he didn't have his super going into the next round. Because if he has the super going into the next round, all he needs is super hit gadget hit, which is like about less than a second to actually pull off, and I'm dead because I only have 6,000 health. But thankfully he did actually waste his super right at the end of that other engagement, and here you'll just see how broken this attack is. It travels so fast, it's so big, and then this super as well, basically impossible to dodge at that range, and I just walked him down. And so, yeah, going into the final round of the video, he was playing Spike, and yeah, curveball Spike, pretty much, you just have to hide in the safe pockets for as long as possible, and then once the smoke closes in, then you have the advantage. If you just keep hiding in the safe pockets and baiting out ammo, then there's not really much he can do. Although obviously he was kind of more focused on hitting me rather than dodging my attacks. Like, as you can see there, he was very focused on offense and not enough on defense, so that is going to be GG's. And yeah, you'll see in a second that that was the first ever 2500 Mr. P. #1 globally all time. So I guess I'll just see you guys in the next one. Peace.